don't know what that was. Very strange. Restream is working.
We need to get a better background eventually. Would that be better than the bedroom and the fan? Let me turn that off.
All right. All right. We are going live.
All right.
Awesome.
Hey.
Let's turn waiting room off.
Beth and Taylor and John and Stephanie.
All right. Good
How's
seeing
it going?
y'all.
How's it going, everybody?
Good. How are you?
Well, good. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, John. How's your week been so far?
Good.
Good. Got some thumbs
All
ups.
We got a quiet crowd today, Brandon. We're gonna have to like play some
I know,
dance music or.
I'm gonna make everybody make a video today just to. Cool.
Did anyone have any issues logging in to the Zoom today? Okay. Brandon did, so I had to make a change. Hopefully that allows everybody in. Cool.
Good stuff.
All right.
Want to give it another minute just for see if anyone
Yeah.
else. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just checking the tech stuff, I'm doing what I do.
First time doing what you do. We doing live streaming?
We are streaming live. We are on YouTube, we are on LinkedIn, and we should be on Facebook. So
Awesome.
I'm just checking all the good stuff that we got going on.
Good.
All right, that looks.
Well, good. Well,
You hooked me on old-fashioned email.
Isn't that right, Taylor?
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned email.
Yeah, I was
looks-
like, huh. I hadn't seen your name pop in the email inbox in a while.
It's funny because I've sent email. I don't understand how algorithms work, even though I claim to be an algorithm expert. It's just it's hard to understand how it works.
It's battling the junk folder because I actually found yours in the junk because now my emails that I send to people that they respond to will land in my junk folder. And once I realized that, I was like, crap, now I got to monitor it really close. But
cool. Just give me a minute, Brandon. I'm going to see what's going on here. Make sure we're going live.
Good.
Let's see here.
All right. So Taylor, what do you look like? You're surrounded by some certificates and was that radio? I see. What do you do there? We can unmute you.
we're in the reclaimed wood. So that's actually an order board.
Okay, nice.
But this office, we have 5 acres under roof. So this is kind of our main manufacturing for reclaim. This is a football field long and half a football field. Well, basically a football field.
Wow.
150 by 300.
Okay. And so reclaimed wood, so like barn wood, you go and take down buildings?
Textile mills.
Textile, okay.
Where barns are typically much smaller structures, we go up to the large textile mills. A gigantic barn will have 1.5 tractor trailer loads. One of the biggest wood buildings in the world is in some little place called Chicago. The Sears and Roebuck warehouse. That one was like over a city block. It had 300 tractor trailer loads of wood in it.
Wow. Gee. And so you go and you find these and you
take them,
claim them, and then resell to people because it's a hot
Well,
interior
this is our
design kind of look?
50th year.
Wow.
So it's always kind of been around for a long time because and everybody that started off in this business all stumbled into it.
Okay.
Um, for various reasons. But yeah, certainly reclaimed and green, it's gotten really, really big. Uh, you want one of the things, like all of these jobs, we bring everything back to Richmond where we can set up and that sort of thing. And, de-nail it. We make hundreds of products, 100 different moldings, flooring, paneling,
Hmm.
beams, mantles. If it's wooden going into a house, we can supply it.
Hmm.
And that's how I met Bob, is he's been helping me with Facebook and Perry Marshall and that group. And I've been doing my own ads for years now. Now my head is a complete disaster because I've been knee deep in server side tracking, and I got the deep dedupe going on deduplicating. I'm learning words I never knew
I don't
existed
even know what
before.
that word means.
I know it.
Deduplicating.
I,
What?
I
Or
didn't know how to say
deduping?
it
Oh,
for a month until I heard somebody. I was like, oh, deduplicated. Okay.
We only like working with the creative questions. The
yeah.
technical stuff, we refer that stuff out.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how good the live stream's working, but this is
All right.
working, Brandon.
All
So
good.
we're gonna
It's
go
not
ahead
good.
and roll.
Awesome.
We got some new faces. Welcome in. This is Video Q&A Live. I'm Bob Regnerus. I have been in digital marketing. Gosh, I think we're in year 23 now.
Yeah.
Brandon, who's blowing his nose,
Sorry about that.
is my partner in Feedstories. You've been in digital marketing just as long as me, which is
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
So many haven't maybe heard our origin story. So I wrote a book back in 2007 called Big Ticket E-commerce, and off that book I started a marketing agency, spoke at a bunch of conferences, and grew an agency to a pretty hefty size. And I was growing so fast, I needed a marketing manager. So I put out a want ad on Craigslist of all places. And the type of people that look at Craigslist for jobs. Well, um,
Bottom of the
Brandon was one
barrel.
of them. But
Sketchy.
Brandon, I want you to tell people exactly how you applied for that job.
So I'm a little context. I'm working as a marketing person at a printing company, and not happy. I was diving into the direct response world and Perry Marshall and all the things about direct response. And so I saw this come through. I did a little research on Bob, and he was in the space that I wanted to be in coaching, consulting, and so I wrote. At that time, I was doing web development, copywriting. So I wrote a sales letter specific to Bob and sent him a response for a direct link to a web page that I had built for him, which is essentially was a sales letter that we're all used to, Dan Kennedy style or whatever you want to call it. We've all seen him. So I wrote that specific for Bob.
So he basically sent me a sales letter, not a resume. He sent me a sales letter, basically convincing me that he was the only person for the job. And out of the 40 so applicants I got, Brandon was the only one I interviewed, and of course the guy that I hired, um, which was great. And we had a great run for about a year, and then the economy collapsed, and
Yeah.
then I got to lay Brandon off, which was
Hey,
just the joy of my life.
so fun.
What a terrible year 2009 was, for many people. For me, it was personally just awful. But one of the good things was Brandon and I realized we were kind of connected, and we helped each other kind of stay alive.
Yeah.
I sent Brandon some freelance work. He sent me some freelance work. We got working in a bunch of different industries and made a bunch of mistakes and tried new things and learned new things. That led me to Facebook. 2013, I dove in headfirst into Facebook, and I became a Facebook. Just that's all I did, and I picked up my first 5 clients. I sent an email out to my list, and I had a pretty decent list at that time. And I said, "Hey, I'm getting into Facebook. Now would be the time to hire me because you're going to get the best price you'll ever going to get from me for doing Facebook work." And one of my clients at that time who raised their hand was JD and Amy Kraus. Didn't know who they were. JD had been following me for years. We created a brand called Boulderman Headbands. We created a 30-second video that led to 8 million in sales, and they were the Shopify Retailer of the Year in 2014. That was my career, and I thought that I was going to do that. And because of all the stuff, good stuff that had been happening on Facebook, I got invited to headquarters in Austin, Texas in 2016. And lo and behold, I got there, and what they talked about was not Facebook advertising, they talked about video. Facebook said, hey, we're essentially a video company, and everything we are going to be doing going forward is going to be related to video. I heard that. I knew it was significant. I went out on lunch break. I was on the sidewalk outside of Facebook headquarters. And who did I call, Brandon?
Called me, and I'm sitting, and I'm listening to this, and as we do, it's ready, fire, aim, right? So, and I tell the story the same way that Bob does, is like, wow, we have a huge opportunity here. Facebook cannot robotize everything. They can't automate everything. So they have to have compelling creative. And also on that, they're also very, very picky about their creative. They don't allow for some of the smarmy tactics that we've all seen on different platforms. So it had to be very personable. It had to be very non-salesy. It had to be very rapport building type of content, as opposed to the traditional way that we see, marketing stuff out there, clickbait, things like that.
Yeah, Facebook in that same meeting, I had a conversation with the head engineer, the guy who was in charge of the people that were coding the algorithm. And what he told me was this. He says, we can automate bidding, we could automate your audience, but the one thing we can't automate is creative. And that's what you should focus in on, because most of your results are going to come from creative. So I had this nugget about video, I had this nugget about creative, and Brandon and I realized that we were at the cusp of something significant. And so we essentially formed Feedstories from the sidewalk outside of Facebook headquarters. And since 2016, we've been working with clients on video and really focusing in on personalizing stories, personalizing ads. So much of what you see is garbage advertising. I'm just not going to pull any punches because I don't feel like it today. Um, we're kind of sick and tired, or at that time, and we're still there's less of it, but we're really sick of the person posturing next to their Lamborghini.
Yeah,
That really turns us off.
right.
We believe there's a better way to do video, and the other thing that you're never going to hear us talk about is scripting. And Brandon, you got a really good explanation as to why we never talk scripts.
Sure. So the tenet of the videos we're going to talk about today, we're going to show as a demo, and we're going to deconstruct. We built the process that we do around the idea that most people are uncomfortable on video. And as much as Beth wants to stand in front of her Lamborghini and show it off to get customers, yep, I knew that's kind of her style. That it's smarmy. People have gotten way more sophisticated. It doesn't work. It works for the unsophisticated and the naive. Most of us here do not have businesses where we're trying to sell something just to make payroll or rent or whatever next week. We're in something sustainable, something long-term, something that we want to make a dent in the world for good, that we can perhaps sell someday. And you can only get by on cheesy sales techniques and marketing devices so long before you lose trust and nobody wants to do business with you. So what we do, and the reason why we don't use scripts is because scripts sound scripted, right? People can pick up a script a mile away. You can pick up on a talking head. We're used to seeing that in the news. And with actors, we judge an actor based on how good they are by how they don't sound like they are reading a script, right? That they are becoming a character. So in the very initial stages, we threw the script out. We thought, should we? But every time we put a script in front of a client, it was awkward and it was stiff and it wasn't flowy. So all we did was turn it over and we just started asking questions. And you get somebody talking about their business and why they love it and how they got into it and what's exciting about it for me and what problems they solve, and tell me some stories about your ideal customers. Everything shifts in their demeanor. It's all about their body language, their posture, and immediately you forget about a camera. So that's why we don't use it, is because it's authenticity and resonance we're looking for, as opposed to sales devices and marketing devices.
Yeah, and I think video is intimidating for people because they think they have to sit down and be brilliant. And Brandon and I, even back in 2016 when we sat down and kind of thought through what the company would be, we called it Feedstories because we really want stories to be the tenet of how people sell. Um, you have this conversation with people every day. You talk about your business, you talk about what you do, you talk about how you got into it, you talk about solving problems. And we believe that it's just best to have that environment where you are basically answering questions. And so when we create video for clients, we're asking questions. It's always director led. One of our values is all video should be director led. Very few people can stare into a camera lens and have good energy and be brilliant and have good rapport and show emotion, all the things that you want out of a video. Very hard to do in the isolation of your office by clicking a button and talking into a lens. The lens tends to shrink your energy and you really kind of like close off. And so one of the things we discovered early on is when Brandon initially was doing all the directing, Brandon would stand behind the camera, and the camera essentially is just another person in the room. In fact, most of our videos, you'll know, as we show a couple, they're not looking at the camera, they're actually looking off. And what they're doing is they're looking at the director. And so, Brandon, talk a little bit about the dynamic of talking to a person with the camera as an observer versus talking into the camera.
Sure. So we've seen this forever. We've seen this on especially news and interviews. We're trained to see that strategy that way from whenever video and interviews and news started. When people look into the camera, they're generally encouraged that for teaching and training. When they look to the side, you're actually a third party participating in a conversation. So if you've ever, if you go to a social event and there's two people talking and you got a drink in your hand and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go, I heard something that might have said, I'm just going to go listen. You just kind of stand there and you listen to two people talking. You don't jump in, interrupt. There's something about that disassociation, that comfortability, like, oh, I get to listen. I don't have to necessarily participate. I'm just going to stand here and listen. We're used to that, doing that in a social setting. So that's what that dynamic does. And plus it takes all the pressure off the subject. So if I'm interviewing one of you and I'm getting you to kind of look slightly off camera, I guarantee you're going to forget about that camera within a couple minutes, because we're just going to have this conversation. I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to stop worrying about what you're saying. You're just going to answer questions. The interview dynamic just unlocks and gets past all of that nervousness of what do I say?
Yeah.
If you have had any type of a sales or marketing conversation with any customer, if you had it at least 5 times, you notice you start saying very similar things when a potential customer is in front of you, and that's all we unlock through interviewing and through asking questions.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Where's my script?" I say, "Well, it's already in you. We're just going to pull it out of you."
Cool. And then just pulling back the curtain a little bit, we made a pretty, I wouldn't say it's a big mistake, but we went in with a misconception early on. I don't know if any of you guys relate to this, but you try to market the business on one premise, and the market really kind of pushes back. We start off with the premise that we had to convince people that video was a good thing to do, and we it's kind of like if you ever like drove your car into the sand and got stuck, like there's no way of getting out of that. You can get out of the snow, but you can't get out of the sand. We were in the sand with that. We found that it was pretty useless for us being a video experts trying to convince people to do video. I don't know if any of you experienced this before, but what we had this shift in our mind about a year into it where we're like, we're going to stop marketing video as a solution. Like, we only want to start talking to people that have already become aware. And the market itself kind of took care of itself, didn't it, Brandon? Like,
Yeah.
we stopped trying to convince people to use video, and we just marketed to people that already had the mindset of they want to do video.
Yeah, it was, video, we know we've been trained it's the most powerful media out there, and also can be the most intimidating. So we got past this like, oh, let me convince you how great video is. No, it was more, let me convince you how easy it is so you'll do it. Because once you do it, you're going to just, because there's so much fear and trepidation around video, so many people don't want to do it. But it is very easy the way we do it. And so if you can be the person who is not afraid to get on video, there's automatic credibility. People associate video with TV, right? For whatever reason, there's some kind of credibility and authority around, oh, that person's on TV. And we put all this authority into it. Well, we leverage that for when we do video. And so if you're someone who has videos that demonstrate your product and service and offerings, and your competition doesn't, who's going to get chosen? You're going to get the attention because you have the guts to get on video and talk about you.
Cool. So I'm going to share something right now. Share my screen if I can find. I got to find the window.
Mm.
Give me 1 second. I got to find the
Yeah.
window. So as we were kind of going through and determining like how we going to market the company, and I think all of us have struggled with this. We came upon this conclusion, and I just want to share it with you. We're going to be putting on a workshop in about 10 days. Actually, 2 weeks. That's actually 2 weeks from today. We're going to be doing a workshop. It's kind of the first of its kind. We're going to actually give you a little bit of a preview here. Um, we came to this conclusion, and I don't know how many of you can resonate with this, but we became convinced that we as the marketers weren't really in charge of when people buy. Um, and we became really comfortable with giving people the controls and being okay meeting our future customers where they're at. And what we came up with is this concept that I talk about in the Facebook book, which is deep funnel marketing. And deep funnel marketing, if you haven't heard the term, most businesses don't understand the depths they need to go to in order to have a conversation with somebody to move them from not buying your product to buying your product. So we like to say deep funnel marketing is engaging content delivered at the appropriate time to a receptive audience using the most effective media available. Now, we're talking about video on this call, and Brandon and I mostly talk about video, but just understand that if your media not isn't necessarily video, this also applies. When you have the mindset that the prospects are in control, and when you give them the grace to go through your process at their own pace, you have a higher chance of converting them than if you force them. You also have a lower chance of buyer remorse and all the things that happen when you hard sell somebody and they're not ready to buy. So, what you see in the book and what has really resonated with Brandon and I over the years now is this customer awareness timeline. The reason it resonates is this is a fundamental. Eugene Schwartz, just a legendary marketer, wrote about this in 1966 in the book Breakthrough Advertising. And if you study direct response marketing or marketing in general, and you haven't come across Eugene Schwartz, then you're really missing out. Um, I'm a basketball coach. I believe in fundamentals. Brandon believes in fundamentals. He's a jujitsu guy. He's very disciplined. And if you don't study fundamentals, you're essentially just trying to go from hack to hack and trying to piece together a business. We really believe in getting down to fundamentals, and fundamentals are things that last. So this is something that I see a lot of people violating or not understanding by the way they go to the marketplace. When you go out to the marketplace, your customer is in a state of awareness, and it goes from unaware up to most aware. Most of the advertising that I see is solely situated around this purple arrow, which is your solution aware, meaning you're going to the marketplace with the sense of, I have a solution, then you must buy it. What we haven't taken into consideration is that some of the people you come across, especially on Facebook, which is an unaware mechanism, aren't even aware they have a problem, or they're not consciously talking about it or thinking about it. And it's our job as a marketer to kind of agitate them a little bit. Now, I'm not talking about being swarmy, I'm not talking about being manipulative. But if you have a service, um, Taylor deals in reclaim wood, and if Taylor doesn't dig in to people that are unaware that there's an option to use reclaim wood versus the new stuff, and doesn't educate them on the value of reclaim wood, the beauty of it, the strength of it, the character of it, they're just going to go with the product that they find in Home Depot or any old lumber store. All right. It goes down to the fact that we have a job as marketers to address things at the lower level and go to the marketplace with a different mindset, which is we're not going to hammer our solution down their throats. We're going to have a conversation with them where we talk about moving them from being unaware to helping them really clarify and be ready to say, yeah, I have this problem that I want to solve, helping them lead to a solution and then convincing that your solution is the best. Most of us don't do this, and that's why our marketing falls flat or we have low conversion rates, is because we're not doing the things that we want to do. So when we put together marketing campaigns and when we put videos together, one of the things we do is we put together a plan based on this diagram, which is our first job. When we create videos and we're putting them in what we call top of funnel in and to unaware traffic, is we want to first just build awareness. We want to generate awareness. What we're trying to do is wake people up. We want to sift and sort them from interested and not interested. We don't want to be present to somebody that's not interested or doesn't have our problem. So what we're doing is we're building awareness and collecting those interested in what we have to talk about. And then what we're doing is we're educating them. We're moving them from unaware to problem aware. We're influencing them through our stories, through our customer stories, and then we lead them to a solution and help them make a decision. So, one of the things that we discovered was when we were putting together videos, we didn't really have a vernacular for this. We actually, I think, is it Jeff Walker that came up, Brandon, with the sideways sales letter?
Hmm. Yep.
So talk a little bit about how what we do with video relates to a traditional sales letter. Let me stop
Sure.
sharing.
Yeah, sure. No, great. So the way this started, and we may have mentioned it before in another call, is that I was doing copywriting, and the way I would get raw material for writing a sales letter was interviewing people on the phone and then transcribing it. And I think it was Schwartz or one of the great copywriters says, great copy writes itself. And really, all my job was to unlock all the knowledge and the stuff inside of the person who was the expert on the topic, pull all that good stuff out and put it in an organized way that, in a succinct way that follows how people consume and digest, a sales message. And it's all we've done for video. This again, I go back to you in your head right now. If you've been in business any length of time, you have the passion, the answers, you have all of the messages within you. You don't have to become someone you're not. You don't have to create a message that isn't you. It doesn't fit your personality. And I think that's where so much resistance to selling comes from is, oh, I have to, be a used car salesman. I hate selling. We hear this all of the time. And it's because a lot of times I think as we've been exposed to people who use selling as it's weaponized, where they get off on can they get you to get your credit card out and pay for something and never really asking the hard question, well, is this a very comfortable fit for you? Does this solution work for your problem? If it doesn't, that's okay. Maybe it's later, but that's what we are in resistance to, because we've seen it, we've been neck deep in it in the internet marketing world for a while. So that's why it's just been so important to have that approach. Is what if selling is just easy, and what if it's conversational, and what if you can do it in your way, in your style, and we just apply these denominators that, as far as the steps that Bob just laid out, what if we just say, hey, we're gonna have you say some things that are gonna fit in these boxes, and you're gonna say it any way you want that works for you, and it's comfortable and easy, and then we just organize it. So that's really the secret sauce of what we do, and people love it, because we're not asking you to be somebody you're not.
And one of the good things about this is we take the pressure off too, because most people think they have to create one great video. Like, I have to create one video, it's going to do everything, and that's not the case. Um, when we work with clients, we're creating multiple videos at a time, and they're meant to be deployed at different times. All right. So one of the videos we're going to show you today, we like to do a video breakdown, is we've already built awareness and we are marketing to people now that have essentially raised their hands. So how does this look? Well, if you're doing Facebook or Google marketing, one of the ways is they show an action. So like on Facebook or Instagram, they watched a large percentage. I like to say they watched 75% or more of one of the videos you put out. And they basically said, hey, by my behavior, I'm showing you that this is something I'm interested in. Or they have visited a web page, or they've opened an email. Okay. Any sort of action, like you want to be able to track them and they say, okay, I'm interested in this. So we're going to show you an example for one of our clients. Last time we showed you Perry Marshall, and that's great. And I think it was good just to show you like this works for somebody who a lot of people know. But what about just a generic, plain business? Something that is marketing to consumers. How do you do that? So what we're going to show you is a video that goes somewhere in the middle of your funnel, and the video is really meant to help educate the person and really move them from, okay, I know I have this issue. Now, is this the right solution provider? And this is one type of video that moves them along. Brandon, what type of video do you call this?
The middle of funnel, which
Yeah.
well,
Is this the how it works video?
I think so. Let me look at the title there. Let me see.
Yeah. So
Okay,
hopefully,
okay, yeah.
hopefully this, I'm going to play it. Hopefully, give me a thumbs up if you can hear when I hit play.
Massage really has evolved over the last several decades. Massage used to be thought of as just something that you would get at a spa, that would chill and relax, but really it's become something that's very effective as a regular part of the healthcare process. We do have our own particular style of bodywork. We call it the Oak Haven method, and it really is a more therapeutic style of massage. It's really a combination of deep tissue with a little bit of sports massage, and also there is a component of relaxing massage that goes along with it. So there is a flow to the massage. You know what's interesting is that every massage client has a vision for what they want for their massage.
Here at Oak Haven Massage, we actually have an entire training process designed specifically to teach therapists how to communicate with people. We have not only a 2-hour training on it, but we also have a whole video training that they have to go through before they talk to anybody. It's not that easy to just pull it out of people. You have to have special training to really get to the heart of what the issues are and to build that rapport so that you guys can get going on the session that you're looking for.
I think people don't realize, generally speaking, unless they're a long-time massage receiver, they don't realize how effective massage can be for actual musculoskeletal problems. Things that people are taking medicines for, people that are going to physical therapists for, people are going to the doctor for, saying, do I need surgery on this? Literally 80% of those conditions can be resolved, in our experience over 30 years, with soft tissue work that we do here.
So one of the things that we spend a lot of time doing is looking for ways to make the entire experience easier for the customers. We realize that people don't always want to make appointments for their sessions from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sometimes people wake up in the middle of the night, they want to know what we have, and so we've added online appointment booking. So you can go on anytime, 24 hours a day, no matter what, and make that appointment. We are shocked that over 50% of our appointments are actually booked online or through our app.
The reason people should choose Oak Haven is really because of the care that we go through to select our massage therapists. We hire 1 out of 30 therapists that we interview. And then once we bring them aboard, we have over 300 hours of training every year to help them develop and grow and really excel as therapists. As a client, you can expect to have a highly trained and competent therapist that's really trained to handle most musculoskeletal issues that people have.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Can I break down a couple things, or do you want to go first?
I'll let you steer.
Okay. Okay. So a couple different things you've heard in there is, and that one is kind of an overview, what we call an overview video, or a what can I expect video. So you heard a few things going on in there. Is first thing, the first part of the video was differentiation. Why you over Massage Envy? Why you over Joe's Massage Emporium down the street? You know, massage and bagels. Again, it was really why you. So the first big portion of that video was they're talking about their vetting process, their training process, listening to the patient. You're not just another massage house, or like I said, Massage Envy. So big differentiator. And what probably prompted that portion of the conversation is me asking, why you? What's different about you? What's special? And that everything you heard him say was just simply unlocked by that question. Nothing special, no unique thing. I'm just saying, why? Why should we choose you over all my other options? As I'm sitting here with tabs on my screen, looking for a good massage, why you? And so he covered that. Later in the video, you hear about the training process. They hire 1 in 30. That's a big click in the brain. Okay, that means that they're selective. So when you hear they hire about 1 out of 30, you are expecting to pay a little more. You are expecting a higher quality experience, that's what we're trying to do in this video, is say, what can I expect when I show up at Oak Haven? You see some nice B-roll there of how beautiful the space is. It was a very beautiful facility. And then towards the end, you heard he said, I think he started by saying what people need to know, or he said, what can people expect? All I'm doing sitting behind the camera is saying, so what can people expect if they come to Oak Haven? And he's just simply repeating it. That's it. And you see it just comes right off his tongue. There's you can tell I was no coaching. I wasn't like, say it this way. It was just, hey, what can people expect here? And so I'm simply, what I do is I play the part of the potential customer. And I'm getting my objections and my questions and my all alleviated in this interview process. So I'm genuinely acting like a potential customer. Bob, you want some?
Yeah, and I think there's a couple other subtle things that are happening. I would almost call them subconscious. Number one is they introduced an easy way to make an appointment. And I love the way she said it. She's like, I'm shocked that over 50% of the people use our app. And we didn't, it wasn't like we did it on purpose, but what it ended up being was we really want you to book an appointment using the app, right? It came out that way, and sometimes that just happens. I love that. The other thing is it was really important. Now, Oak Haven Massage is not, obviously, they're not a cheap provider, but you'd be surprised that they're not the most expensive provider. They're actually right in the middle. But one of the things that was really critical as you're creating a video for your company is you've got to make sure that the style reflects the experience that they're going to have. So we were very careful to make sure that we shot it in a way. Listen to me talk about style, Brandon.
You go, man.
We shot it in a way that it really, and this is important to our clients. When we meet with them, like they kind of tell us what's important, but they want people to know this environment is clean. This environment is stylish. It's warm. It's not cold. People are in uniform. They're professional. They're they explicitly designed this this business around things they hated about massage. Now, what Dr. Schul did not really get into in this video and did in another video was his extensive experience. Like he's really well educated in the massage space. And another thing that he does is he goes undercover, but like he goes and just gets massages from different places and comes back and says, I like what they did, I don't like this, and they make changes in their environment. The other thing, which he didn't say in this video, but we'll tell you a little bit about this business, is that before a therapist is finally hired, that therapist has to give a massage to the owner, to other therapists. So other therapists are actually evaluating. So we had a little bit of that in the video about how difficult it is to get hired. Well, part of it is that therapist has to impress the other therapist. Like, do they cut it? Do we want this person part of our team? And I think all those things came across. I'm just, I don't, if anybody else has some reactions, I'd love to hear a little bit of it, questions or reactions. Like, what did you get out of that video that maybe we haven't said, or anything that brings up as a question?
Unmute them or?
Oh, they can unmute.
Okay.
We have a quiet, shy group today. I could call on somebody. I could call on Stephanie.
Call on Stephanie. She looks like she's just ready.
Thrilled to be here and ready. Yes. But I think a lot of what you just said is kind of what I got from the video subconsciously, right? Like as you were seeing those things, I was like, oh yeah, like I remember seeing that part in the video, and going forward. And I think there's a level for me of unawareness when I'm watching a video of what's really being received, right? And so for me, hearing you break this down and actually talk about this is the layers of why this is a good video and this is what components are put in there are just eye-opening for me. So when I listen to you say it like demystifies, it pulls the Wizard of Oz curtain back for me and I'm
Cool.
able to understand it in more depth, if that makes sense.
Cool.
Very cool.
So that's excellent. Thank you, Stephanie. Anyone else like in a business right now that is thinking about doing video, wants like how do I capture the feel of my business? I'd love to hear where you guys are at. Any questions around surrounding anything? We got some new faces, so this is a safe zone. Let's see. Pierre.
Here.
Hi, Rodney. Good to meet you, my friend.
You, Rodney?
Good to meet you guys. Yeah, I'm reading the book. It's really good. I like
Oh,
it.
cool.
I
Glad.
I also like saying that I'm reading a Facebook book. It's nice.
Facebook book.
Cool. What business are you in, Rodney?
I am the co-creator of the Unknown Comedy Club. We're an online comedy club. We do all of our shows virtually.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah. We kind of created it because of the apocalypse and no comedy clubs being open, right? So we kind of have to do it, kind of a thing. It's pretty cool. I host in virtual reality. It's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing, And yeah, we have we're on Zoom, right? That's the platform. That's the only thing. Whatever we're using it now, we obviously know, and we record everything, right? So we've gotten into business January 29th. We became official April, but we've been doing shows since January, and we record everything. Right. And our shows are at least an hour, and we've done well over 80 shows. We're maybe at 100 now. I don't know. I stopped counting. So I have a lot of content, and it's good. A lot of it's good. Right. This is like you're seeing here. This is my production value. Like I don't like letting people on any lower than this, and you get laughter. We don't do mute. We do stand-up comedy, and stand-up comedy means I hear you laugh.
You need the feedback.
Yeah. So you're getting the laughter in the videos. Right. So I don't want to hijack your meeting here. Like,
No,
I really
this
want
is
to
all.
talk to you guys.
This is about you.
Man.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm trying to ask, how do you know what video is right depending on how far down the funnel you are? You know what I'm saying? Because like, we're an interesting case because like we're not a complete unknown. Like we've gotten a lot of press, and like the places that we're targeting, we've gotten press in these places, and we're targeting pretty specifically. Like we have a running healthcare show, right? We staff the show with only comics that are also nurses and healthcare workers, right? It's called Laughter from the Frontline. So we're targeting B2B. We're targeting B2B hospitals and stuff like that. And like, some of these places have heard of us, but like a lot haven't. And Facebook, we spoke to the Facebook people, and they're like, it's a video, and so you need to go target for video views. But like, we're trying to get people to sign up for a landing page. It's just very confusing. Like, I don't know. It's like, seems like a lot's coming out from everywhere. I'm trying to introduce a lot of the things that I've read in your book. I mean, I'm only like kind of a quarter way through it, and it seems to be working. I mean, the targeting, like when I found out you can target any data point, that was like mind blowing to me.
Awesome.
But I mean, again, like we're in the discovery process. I understand that we're trying to get landing page people to sign up on our landing page so we can, because when we can talk to these people, the conversion is great. You know what I mean? We're always selling, but yeah, getting people to sign up for that landing page and being patient enough to like get over that, like, month of discovery, and like knowing even that like the video is getting a lot of views, but I'm not seeing any likes. I'm not seeing any comments. So I don't know how the videos are doing. The landing page views are bad, right? But I mean, it's only been up for a few days, and this is not the first campaign I've run. It's the first time I've really, implemented a lot of the stuff you're saying. But again, it takes time, and I don't know if it's working. You know what I'm saying? You guys know.
All right.
So yeah. That's
great questions.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Great questions. So tell me, Rodney, how do how do they join? Is it something where I join a subscription model? Is that what I'm
You know what?
hearing?
It's not even a subscription model. It's just kind of like the video, see the video, and it's kind of like get a quote. It's just we kind of tailor make these shows for everybody, and then you get a landing page, like start a conversation, and they can add their phone number, their whatever, you know what I mean? I got a little description, like all the media that we've gotten on the side, and yeah, I mean, they can either sign up and they get an email from us, then I get one of my salespeople to call them, or they
Okay.
don't, which they don't
Okay.
normally, usually.
So so you're selling to individuals,
I'm
like,
telling, yeah, we're trying to, we're now targeting B2B, we're B2B now. Like we're targeting other companies because that's who's buying from us, right? Like that's what we're doing.
okay,
I've
so
also been
like,
told that Facebook is not the place I want to be for this. I've been told that LinkedIn's the place I want to be for this. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
well, it goes down to, okay, so who is actually buying, Rodney? That's the main question. Who's buying?
Well, I mean, we're targeting a specific, right now we're targeting this healthcare show. So we're getting a lot of,
Okay,
private clinics and like hospitals are into this right now. And that's what this is a show we're specifically tailor-made for this
so
industry.
who actually pulls out their credit card and pays you?
It's the
What's their
thing, it's kind
title?
of different, there's activity directors,
Okay,
sometimes there's HR, it's another thing. It's been really hard to target who's in charge. And like, again, we've done Samsung, we've done a bunch of different companies, people are kind of into this, but again, I don't
okay,
know who it could be. It's usually a team
okay,
leader of some sort, but team leaders could be anybody. You know what I
sure,
mean? Like,
okay.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Who is it for? Who is the type of person this is for? Is this for someone in a company that is looking to create entertainment, an
yeah,
environment for their
okay.
employees?
So what we found, this is for, strictly, we're targeting remote working people, right? People who
Okay.
are like, this is almost people, it's weird because people are tired of Zoom. They don't want to be on Zoom anymore
Right.
because they feel disconnected. And then this show on Zoom connects them. It's a weird kind of like
Yep.
thing that happens. But yeah, that's who we're targeting. We're targeting people who are remote workers or generally don't want to go to stand-up comedy clubs anymore because it's not safe. You know what I mean? This is a safe alternative.
Sure. Okay.
And it just seems to work hand in hand together for a
Okay.
lot of places,
So I got a couple specific examples of this. So I have a good friend, my former business partner's brother does the Dueling piano shows, and they found that corporate America is their best client. Okay, so they know they're marketing corporate. So my thought for you is this: number one is it entertaining? Is it funny? So when you're running top of funnel stuff and you're targeting nurses or however you're targeting, and you have it kind of working, to me that first video's got to be funny.
Yeah.
Like show off how friggin' hilarious and entertaining it is, and just get people to engage with that. All right, start with that. Then you use the video strategy and go, okay, I got somebody to watch this whole video. Now you target them middle of funnel, like I showed you. You've built awareness. Now you need to educate. So now you need a video, Rodney, where it's like you show a little bit of that stuff that they saw before that was funny, and it's you going, hey, this is the Unknown Comedy Club. And you basically talk about why this is different and what you do, because all of us were like, well, this is cool, but how does it work? Right? So you need to do education there in that part of the funnel and be like, this is who we're for. This is for corporate events. This is for businesses that are all remote. This is for healthcare workers, and talk about all the specifics, right? And then you have an invitation to be like, to do this, talk about having us do a show with your company or your organization. It's really important that, we connect and we cater a show specifically for you. And then you drive them to the landing page. So start with the people that are aware and have engaged with you, and then only market that specific thing where it's like, okay, let me talk about what this is and what we do and how we could do it for you and how we solve this problem. Right? You want to be real specific, like, look, this is we're a stress reliever, we're entertainment, we bring the boredom out, get the boredom off of Zoom. Like, right, Brandon? I think that's
Yeah.
you would be drilling into them like, tell me who this is for, tell me what this is all about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
And it's,
then go ahead.
well, no, that's exactly where it's going. Is like, who is this for? What pain are you relieving? And guys, this goes for everyone on the call today.
Yeah.
This is the fundamental questions I interview people with. to fit that funnel, the deep funnel that Bob illustrated earlier, is who, what pain does this relieve? Who is this for? Why should I care? The other thing is let's tease out a few things. If I get on a Zoom call with a comedian, is that comedian going to interact with me on that Zoom call? Are they
Yes,
going to
that's what
poke
we're
fun at
selling.
me?
We're selling interaction. We're selling interaction.
Beautiful.
You know?
I want a 3-second clip of a comedian making fun of someone and having fun and people laughing on a Zoom call. You rarely see people
And that's
laughing on a
all
Zoom
I
call.
have. That's all I got. You don't understand.
Perfect.
Yes.
I want 3 to 5 second B-roll shots of a bunch of people laughing on a Zoom call. I want a drink being toasted. I want the comedian poking fun at people. I want stuff flying across the Zoom screen. I want a cat walking behind you. I want to show fun and liveliness and silliness. Please break me out of this monotony of Zoom calls and COVID, right? So I want little clips of that to show that level of dynamic. The other thing I want to encourage that we saw in the Oak Haven video is I do not underestimate the importance of showing how easy something is. The way Oak Haven did it is they had an app. It's easy, it's simple, it's quick. I don't care if it's what you do is the most complex thing in the world. Maybe it's reclaimed wood. Make it easy, communicate it how simple it is to engage. Because that's really the barrier you're looking for. Before I download an app and I put my credit card in and I buy a service or whatever, you've got to get me through that resistance. Tony Robbins once said that the hardest part about working out is getting to the gym. There's something about the resistance around that initial getting through a process to become a member or to get in a flow state or consistency. Same thing applies here. Show me how easy it is to join for a free month of access to comedy, or come to your first free show and we're going to send you a kit. You're going to get your t-shirt, you're going to get your tumbler, you're going to get a sign that you hold up that says, ha ha, I don't know, something fun and interesting to break me through that initial barrier of resistance, make it really fun for me to join and participate. So those are just some ideas off the top of my head. But
Yeah, you're merging two things people know. They know what it's like to go to a comedy club. They know what it's like to be on Zoom, and they're going, how the hell do they put these two things together? Right? You got to show them how you just took that and merged it. It's like mix it, I went to a Mexican restaurant last night and I had Korean tacos. Like, how is that possible? Right? You're showing fusion there.
yeah,
It's an innovative idea. Video is absolutely going to be killer for this. You've got proof that people are laughing. I would even put in a laugh guarantee.
yes,
Like like
love it.
just be brazen about it. Like if your team isn't laughing their asses off by the end of the hour, we'll do this, or put something in there. Um, be brazen about it because you've got proof that it works.
Yeah, right. Show me the experience. Show me what I can expect if I join, which again goes back to one of our staple videos is what can I expect? It's always something I bring up. A phenomenal salesperson, Ari Galper, did a presentation one time and he says, just show the potential customer what they can expect. I think that was incredible advice. What does it look like?
Yeah.
And when you flash up a screen of a bunch of people laughing in a Zoom call with a beer in their hand and interacting, oh my gosh, thank you for saving me from this, non in-person hell I'm in, so
Yeah.
hope that's useful.
That's awesome, Roddy. What a great idea.
Thanks, man. It's been fun. We're really trying to take it because we know we could take it to the next level, and we're digitally native, so we have to be able to use this kind of marketing. It only makes sense,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't necessarily think LinkedIn might get you some stuff, and Stephanie could probably talk about that a little bit. But this is visual, like you're marketing to individuals. I think one of your strategies is you're catching somebody in an organization and being like, "Look, we can do this for your organization." Imagine being the nurse at this particular clinic that goes to the activities director or whatever and says, "Hey, look what I just saw. Like this would be awesome," right? That's to me, that's how it would be shared,
Right.
right? You just catch the eye of somebody in there and going, like, this is something we should absolutely
That's
do.
what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult for you to go right to the decision maker, I think.
Right.
But I think it's show off the funny top of funnel and
Mm.
then get into what this really is middle of funnel. I think that's going to be a good killer 1-2 punch.
Cool. Thank you,
Well,
man. That really makes me feel a
yeah.
little more confident. I appreciate that.
Really, when you say who is your audience, it's remote workers.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's
have
it.
to be this particular
No. Yeah.
industry client, corporation. It's really remote workers,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
most of us, right?
Yeah.
Remote workers that just need a friggin' break. And a company can buy, this service as a gift to say, hey, I know you guys, your team, we're doing really well. I know you guys are burned out being on Zoom calls. Join at Friday at 4 o'clock, for a live comedian, whatever, however you present it. It's a gift to my employees.
That is.
You guys
such
are
a-
awesome. I'm so sorry we got to be locked up like this, but this is
Yeah.
a great comedian. We're going to have fun. Grab a beer. We'll see you at 5 on Friday. That kind of a feel. Now they have something to look forward to. It's a gift,
Okay,
and
I got
that's
a
going to
question
hook
for you.
them.
Quick question. I'm sorry, I'm not taking any more of everybody's time. Okay, so again, I know where I am in the funnel. I'm at the top, very top, right? But I mean, what do you guys recommend a call to action be? If you're saying like chances of me not getting any conversions off of this, then and my main focus is kind of this is just kind of brand awareness and stuff. So what is the call to action of that?
Well, here's the thing with retargeting. Call to action is less critical at top of funnel.
Right.
What you're looking for is a signal. Okay. So in your ad, and we could break this down further, one-on-one, but number one, you got to have something that's funny, and they see it on Zoom and they're like, what the heck is that? All right. So you need to have some creative that lets them know, like, this is a custom online Zoom comedy show for remote workers and organizations, right? Like, you tell them what it is and you give them the URL. But what you're most interested in is somebody that watches that video all the way through. That's one audience. The second audience is going to be anyone that clicks through to the landing page.
Right.
Even if they don't opt in at this point, okay? You're still getting a signal like, this is interesting. Once they give that signal, you move them to the middle of funnel and say, this is what this is. And
Yeah.
you explain what it is, you show what it is, and then you're very specific in that video to be like, all right. So it's not brand awareness like Coca-Cola. It's brand awareness to like, I'm introducing something new.
Right.
And if you engage with this at this level, I'm going to move you to the next level and explain what it is.
So is that even the top of the funnel, or is that like above the top of the funnel? Right? Are you just
No, no, it's really top of the funnel.
Yeah, okay.
I believe it's top of funnel for you.
Okay, cool.
They are. I was completely unaware this existed until this moment,
Mhm.
Rodney. So I am unaware. All of us were unaware this existed.
Right.
And all of a sudden you introduce something and now it made us aware of a problem like, oh, it really sucks being a remote company and all we do is meetings. Wouldn't it be great? I can't get together with my team because of COVID and things like that. Now, you can still exist post COVID. It'd be like, look, people are going to be spread out for years. So you guys have an absolute long runway at this. You just explain like this is a great alternative. It's an hour and a half, one night, one afternoon, whatever the case may be, where you guys can get together and just have fun and connect. And it's going to be the best hour of your week. It's going to be the best hour of your month. And you've never seen anything like it. That to me, the like inquisitive nature of it kind of like gets my interest up. You know what I mean?
Cool. Thanks, guys. Really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
good stuff.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Beth had a good comment. What does it look like? What this means for you?
Yeah.
Right. And then Chris, thanks for chiming in. It's great. Yeah, Rodney, he's saying maybe Popsly incentivize champions to say, hey, you know, maybe you could some sort of thank you gift if you bring this to your organization, they end up hiring us. Like that. That's a great, great idea.
Yeah, champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. You don't want to call him a bird dog. Of course, you can probably riff on something funny, but that's really what it is.
Yeah.
They're bird dogging it for you. But that's great. No, that's a great example of kind of what we talked about. So glad we could dig in. The new happy hour.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Love that.
Susan.
Nice. Love that.
Yeah.
Position it like that. Yeah.
no one gets DUIs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the interactive part of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing to sit and watch videos of comedians. It's another thing to have the comedian mess with you. They'll let you know.
Completely. That's the whole. That's what we're selling. I have a bunch of clips where, like, we're just kind of making fun of somebody's. Somebody's crib. It looks like a murder house. You know what I mean? Someone's house looks like a murder
Yeah, it's
house.
like,
you know what I mean? Like, it's like a whole.
Hey, Joe from Philadelphia, what are you wearing there? Is that your wife's nightie? What are you doing? That's the ugliest dog I've ever seen. Just people crave it. They're just craving interaction, right?
We got so much of that, man. We have so much of that. Hours of it,
All right, just promise to send us some of those clips.
Yeah.
All right, please.
Oh, yeah.
Like Brandon and I, we'll eat that up.
Yeah.
So
It'll be fun.
cool. Well, yeah, we're at the top of the hour. We appreciate you all.
Yeah,
we do this once a month, and like I said, we have a workshop coming up. It's our first paid workshop. It's only going to be $97, but you're going to get to spend 3 hours with us and really dig in, and you'll actually be able to create a video. So you're going to hear about this on September 26th. So we can't give you a URL right today, but we want to have a little bit of anticipation. So we love for you to join us on October 6th, and you can hear about it first on September 26th. So you guys got the preview. So good on you guys for showing up today. Cool. All right. Well, we hope to see you in the workshop. Email us anytime you have questions, and we hope to see you next month. See ya.
See you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good day.